I'm so terribly excited.
Oh, you've always wanted to do this.
Yes. So what else happened on this weekend? The box one.
That was good. That was good. But a little bit of a nail biter.
Who's your favourite box player?
Can I say? Are we still going to be married after this?
Yeah, I'll let you. Yeah, okay. I'll let it slide today.
Malcolm Marx.
Malcolm Marx. Is it? Okay.
But I still love you. Like, we married. You're my bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
What did you think of the match?
Time of the game where I thought, that's it. I think we've blown it. We're not going to win it. Something happened and they just went apeshit and they clapped them. It was awesome. Do you think any of the Springboks have modified street cars?
I think one of the two of the box could be into cars. I don't know whether they've chipped and tuned and exhausted and wheeled it and stickered it. But that's an interesting fact. Do you think there is?
I can imagine someone like Peter Steff getting into his turbocharged Mark 1, pushing the chair back, and then calling Ches and say, hey, Ches, meet me at Wembley. Bring your Honda Ballard.
Malcolm Marx in a black Camaro. And then we had Midway on Sunday.
How was that?
That was hectic.
It was well supported, though. I think it was one of the biggest events of the year. Huh?
One of the biggest ones we've been to.
Yeah, it was packed, huh?
I agree, but it's a very small facility for an event like that. I just felt a little bit claustrophobic. My pet peeve is lining up to go to the ladies' loo. Then you know the place is overpacked.
Harvey, the owner's done a lot of work. Huh? The amount of work that he's done to the facility and the venue, it's awesome. Huh?
What I enjoy about Midway is the fact that they get along and do what they need to do. They don't make their problems an industry problem. I like the fact that Harvey has got a goal. He sets himself a goal. Him and his family go out. They do what they need to do. Whether they're asking for sponsorships or not asking for sponsorships, you just know there's an event happening, and their marketing on social media on this last event was good. We
met many YouTube viewers at Midway. A lot of them came over and said, how's it?
I think we meet a lot of them at events. So the guys that do watch Joel and I, thank you.
And thanks for your support. What are we looking at? That one. Thanks for your support. We appreciate the support. We also did a few photo shoots this weekend. One of them being DVD. Lucky Claudi's Nissan Sentra.
Yes.
The quickest VVL all-motor in South Africa.
And I believe there's a list.
Yes.
You was talking about a list.
Yes, there's a list.
Yeah.
A lisp. Yes, there's a lisp. Second on that list is Jody Cupido in a Nissan Exa. So Jody's ran 11.4. Lucky has just done 11.3 at Daisy. So do you miss the NA days?
No, I don't miss the NA days.
Because you built a Mark 1 Golf.
We did attempt to. We built an ABF motor back in the day. Yeah, I don't want to remember that because we had endless trouble with that car. And it's not like the industry has built a lot of Mark 1 Golfs already. Like, what seems to be the issue? Like, why is it so difficult still to build a fast Mark 1? We've been doing it for how long?
Yeah.
So when it came to us building that aspirated thing, no, geez. I think the one night you and I were just sitting calculating what we had spent on it after like the 100th break, and it was like 250K down. And it's like, vomit, you know? And that's, I think, where we stopped. Like, this is it. We can't do it.
To be fair, there are a lot of quick cars now. The NA scene has exploded.
Listen, they put their homework in, you know. But I think nitromethane also a very big game changer for aspirated cars.
So I spoke to Marco Gounder with the Opel Kadett. So he told me that he took 9 litres of meth and 1 litre of nitro. So basically 10%. Put on a dyno, he found 10 kilowatts. He said, stuff it, I'm going to put 35% nitro. He made 35 kilowatts in Gauteng. So I can only imagine what they're making there on the coast. Lucky with the Sentra went down to the front wheel drive challenge at Desi. So he wanted a tune. And they told him straight, where's the nitro? He says, I don't race with nitro. He says, but you're going to the front wheel drive challenge. Why don't you have nitro? He says, I don't race with nitro. He says, you're bringing a knife to the gunfight. So that's how big nitro is at the coast with the competitors.
Do you think it should run in a separate class? Or do you see it just as an additive to the car?
No, it must be separate. I don't think it's fair. I don't think nitro cars should race with cars with no nitro. I don't know. I think
Don't you agree? Bring with what you have in that class.
says the Sport Compact Queen. Like what Marco said, he go in 35 kilowatts just by changing the fuel. Half the field don't even use it, or maybe 3/4 of the field don't even use nitro. You're coming there with a massive advantage.
Yeah, but then 3/4 of the field also might not have the big turbo. Why would you justify that it needs its own class when it's just another additive?
If you're running nitro, get in a nitro class. Don't race with the others that don't have a turbo or don't have nitro in this situation. Back then, MSA used to oversee this, especially with the national events. Not much Sport Compact, because Sport Compact was bring with what you
compact,
bring
with what you always come with what you've got.
Yeah, come with what you got.
Yeah.
And guys ran times in Sport Compact, and they weren't tested. Like some guys ran quick times, they broke records and they weren't tested, and they were in the spotlight. We highlighted them. Now the guys are using nitro.
Yeah.
I run quickest in the land, and I can't test the fuels. I don't know what they're using, but if they're running the times and they've backed it up at the same event, they get on the list. So when Marco ran meth at Tolton, his exit speed was 185 k's an hour. When he put nitro, he went to 199.
Sure.
There's a 15 kilometer per hour improvement just on that. It has to be regulated. You can't just put them all together in the class. How you going to do it? I don't know.
It certainly wasn't the ball ache we went through, because we jumped through hoops when we started racing back then with MSA, and they were strict. There was more transparency with the rules and regulations back then for racing what there is today. You pitch up at the different tracks in South Africa, and they've got their own set of rules when you arrive there. No harness, big tires, no big tires, Lexan windows, no Lexan windows. It's just it's a circus out there at the moment.
Yeah. I think Wally Papas is turning in his grave, man, because Wally did so much for safety for us back in the day.
And the cars are getting quicker and quicker. Let's not deny. Have a look at what's being built at the moment. Nati with that monster that he's building. Then you have a few guys like Dupi and Quinton and Badler with all these super fast drag cars. And you've only got one Tolton. So these cars are getting quicker and quicker, and the facilities are not accommodating. But this is a problem we've seen since we've been in the industry for 25 years. Show me one track that has changed since 2000, since we started in the industry. Show me one track. Besides adding a grandstand and maybe lack of toilets, safety on tracks have not changed at all. And everyone wants to go faster and faster.
Yeah, look, I think technology's progressed tenfold. Cars are quicker. Cars are very quick. Yeah.
I'm going to call us a third world country because that's what we are. And our tracks just have not done anything to equip themselves for the growing industry.
Yeah.
You know?
Look, I think we're fighting against thunder there because there's so many variables lately. I think the industry's taken a bit of a dive. I mean, I remember with my quickest in the land updates. So 2023, I've actually written it down, yeah. Right? So, okay, let's go back. In 2021, I did 18 updates on that list. 2022, I did 15 updates. 2023, 5. It's like the industry just stood still. No one was chasing time. So, I don't know what happened. I actually remember that year I did nothing with quickest.
What year was that?
2023.
2023.
This year, I've had 10 changes so far, which is not bad. So in September, I've done 10 changes. So industry is slowly coming back, I think. Look, the economy's shit, eh?
Listen, I think we've all taken a dive with COVID, and we just need to get back on that bicycle. And that bicycle's going, but it's going very slowly.
That shit's expensive, man. And you can blame the rand dollar, which we will.
Oh my gosh.
But do you remember the times we used to walk into Hassan Tagari's shop? First Turbo Nice.
Yes.
Next to Top Sport.
Yeah.
Used to go there and spend $3.5 grand on a set of forged rods. I remember buying an autometer boost gauge for like $300. The real McCoy.
And I used to lose you. The minute I knew we were going to that shop, I could kiss you goodbye for the day.
Yeah.
And then you'd come back a happy husband, happy life.
But have you noticed how the wheel has turned? Because the same shit happens when you walk into a Christmas store.
Ooh.
I lose you. And you come
Baby.
back, happy wife, happy life.
Maybe 16 Mondays to Christmas.
What was your favorite venue in our years when we traveled around the country with Sport Compact? And what is one of your fondest venues?
Highlights. Tolton to me was my highlight when it came to Sport Compact, because we had brought drivers from out of town into town that had never experienced Tolton before. Robert Ferroli had never experienced Tolton before, except that day. Tola Daniels was one of them as well. I love seeing the guys firsts in terms of racing. Westbank was phenomenal, don't get me wrong. That thing was glitz and glam. My heart will always be at Tolton because that's where we started.
Okay, let's talk about some few social media happenings that we've seen lately.
Yeah?
One of them, lady versus lady scenario, whatever.
Call out.
There's a call out with Charlotte Zank and Yassira Ibrahim.
Listen, I enjoyed pulling out my box of popcorn just to read the comments on this thing. People are not shy, hey, to put their 2 cents to everything lately.
What's your money on with that race? If they do get the chance to line up,
It depends on where they're racing. Tolton or Midval, 2 different scenarios. It's difficult to say, and I know they're going to be watching. And Charter's a very close friend, but I'm going to have to say Audi. And don't hate me, Char.
Yassira's RS3 is incredible.
Listen, I still tend to call them PlayStation cars because I don't understand them. But
Why don't you understand them?
Because I'm just old school.
Okay.
I
like stick shift, huh?
I like to get into a car and drive it. You can feel a car when you're changing the gears, driving it, listening to where that turbo spooling, just all that glorious stuff. I just feel it gets lost in those kind of cars.
Yeah. Don't you think it's comfort? I think it's people like the comfort, or like doing an 8-second or 9-second, but really not really raising a sweat, just hanging on for dear life.
Well, I suppose that's the new Gen Z generation, where everything's just comfortable.
Okay, going back now, who's going to win?
The Audi.
The Audi.
Yeah. Charles going to have a really quick pull-off. But even if she does, that Audi kicks in, it's gone.
Okay, so Shaw ran, I think it was a 5.8. I could be wrong. A 5.8 at Midval, 200 meters, 5.8. Yeah. Yassira, I saw Yassira run a 6 this past weekend. She could have improved. I'm not too sure.
Yes. Oh, that's on a 200, but why are you comparing them over a 200?
What I'm saying is, if Shaw hooks, I think she's got the grunt to take out the Audi. My only concern is I don't think Shaw has had enough seat time. I think she needs a lot of seat time to get that shit happening. Look, I think it must be a scary car to pilot. What's it called? Zangzilla.
Yes.
So unfortunately, Johnny Almeida passed away last week. So for those that don't know Johnny Almeida, he was a well-known drag racer in the early 2000s.
Oh, certainly one of the first characters we met establishing the magazine.
So our first time I remember seeing him is we used to be part of a clique, an Uno Turbo clique, this club. There were 4 of us. And we said, hey, let's go to this event at Highveld Steel. Remember Highveld Steel in the Witbank? It was before we started the magazine.
Yeah.
And it was jam-packed, and the event was a 2.2K top-end run.
Yeah, and it was a little bit straight and then went over the hill.
Yeah.
And then you didn't see them and just hope they made it.
Yeah. Johnny was fast. He did 303, I think, that day with his Nissan Bakkie.
In a Nissan Bakkie?
Yes. And we featured it. It was called Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
It was called Mighty Mouse.
What motor did he have in there?
It was a 4JE. And he was part of the 3 Musketeers that exploded on the drag racing scene in the early 2000s. So it was Manny Marino, the Mazda 323.
Yeah.
Johnny with his 1400 champ.
Yeah.
And the mighty Louis Lima. So it was always those.
3 porters.
Yeah. And
I'm
then
going to call it the 3 porters.
Yeah. Who was a gentleman that used to race a Cobra? Manny de Gouveia.
Yeah.
Manny de Gouveia also, and his brother. But it was good times, and sad to see that, sad to hear that he passed away.
Well, it's sad to see that we're at that age where, we're also losing what we deem as icons to us when we established the magazine. I mean, these guys were in the industry And we hung around their workshops all the time for hours and days and nights, and we just watched them build cars and things like that. So, yeah, it's a big part of who we were, hey?
So come now, I know you didn't want to talk about it. Just tell, what's the delay with your golf, man?
Shit's expensive.
Shit's expensive. Shit's expensive. Yes. You know, I've been traveling to a lot of off-road drag racing events.
Oh, and I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, so I think viewers are probably like being confused. I know we did the Groblersdal street racing, and some guy commented, "Welcome back, Joel." And I was like, okay, I know you guys want to see more street racing, but off-road is also quite exciting. What do you think of it?
I think it's important to venture out a little of your comfort zone a little bit. Like the drag racing events and the street car racing events, they just pull a lot of vloggers, photographers and videographers at the moment. That event's going to be plastered everywhere. And our brand is not going to do anything special than what everyone else is doing. You know, everyone's putting their flair to their videos, everyone's putting their flair to their posts, and they're doing a damn good job at it. You know, we will put our flair and do it out, but it's the same content. It's hitting social media, hitting everywhere. I've always liked to go against the grain and do something else, hitting social media. I haven't lost my passion for drag racing or racing, but sometimes you also just pitch up at the tracks in the same old cars all the time, you know. And if you're watching something, you want to see something different. You want to see a different car. So yes, we have ventured out a little bit, but our heart is still in drags.
Listen, Theo Knipe, our seasoned speed and sound driver, he turned 60. He's turning 60 sooner.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
He's turning 60.
Uh-huh.
Incredible.
And when did he start with us? When he was 14?
I don't know. I think his race career has been incredible, especially with us going around the country.
Well, he started with us in 2001 or 2002. When did we get the team together? It must have been around there.
Yeah.
And he was involved with the Opel Owners Club back then. And they were a clique, him and Jerry Sonny. So when you got Theo, you got Jerry. When you got Jerry, you got Theo. That's how they rolled back then. Yeah. And the Opel Owners Club, I mean, you and I used to go to so many events at the Opel Owners Club back then. And we immediately just identified with Theo and Jerry. It was crazy.
Why did we go for those two guys? I mean, out of all the Opels, what made you gravitate towards Theo?
Theo was just a hard knock racer, you know. Theo was a street racer through and through. He used to raid robot to robot. He used to challenge anything on the road.
I've got fond memories of that.
Yeah.
I remember one night in Cape Town, he says, "Joel, we're going to hit the streets with the TS." I'm like, okay, what are we going to go do? And he says, "No, we're going to go look for races." So I'm like, oh, okay. I think we went to Milnerton and we found an Audi S2 Quattro. And he ran that Audi into the ground, beat it. Yeah, we hit speeds. I cucked my pants and I says, "No, Theo, my poor little 30-year-old heart can't take this anymore." And I'm getting tired. Can you take me home? So he took me home. The next day, we heard that he was locked up.
We got up having breakfast, or somebody come running up the staircase where we were staying. Yeah. And he's like, Senor Joel, can you remember? Senor Joel.
Yeah, Mr. Joel.
Theo's in jail. And we're like, what?
Yeah. So Theo's one of very few drag racers that probably have, I can't say criminal record. What is it?
He's behind bars.
Yeah, he's behind bars.
He was the only one in the crew that we had that was behind bars.
Yeah, crazy. Well done, Theo.
Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, happy birthday. Festival of Motoring happened this weekend. I see Rosper had an auction.
Yes.
And we went to the Iron Lion auctions the other day. Yeah. And I see Creative Rides are having also their auction very soon. What's your take on these auctions? I mean, Rosper had incredible cars.
It's difficult to say when I don't have a history with them. And I just look at the sudden values that people put on their cars, and I realize we stay in a very woke society if you can get R1 million for a Cressida. R1 million for a Cressida. going to say it twice.
Yeah.
You know, I think people put their heartfelt prices on these cars because these cars mean so much to them. They just want $1 million for them.
Look, if I had to sell my CRX tomorrow, I'd probably want $500,000.
What?
$500,000, maybe start at 600,000, as is without the engine.
I'll give you $5,000.
Yeah, look, the asking prices for some cars, and it's crazy, man. Especially when they filter through on your feed in Facebook, and you look at the price of that car, and you think, no ways, man.
That's why I say we stay in a very woke society. I don't know if I'd pay R1 million for a Crusader.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine buying a Crusader for R1 million, parking it off in the garage, and then telling my 2 girls that car's worth R1 million. By the time they're 30 years old, in a very different society, how are they going to get R1 million back for that car?
Yeah. So I spoke to a good friend of mine. I won't mention his name. So he bought a red Superboss. He bought it for $250,000. And he thought, you know what, I'm going to relive my youth. I'm going to buy that Superboss. I'm going to enjoy it because it's a Superboss. And he paid $250,000. So he had a trailer to his place. Took it off, washed the car. Next morning got in. Now he wants to go to a breakfast run. He says, Joel, I hammered it. And I went, yes, so this is kaka. And he did a U-turn, put it up for sale again the next day.
What did you pay for your Superboss back in the day?
$27,000 from Birchmoor.
So it's
Yeah.
It's quite a leap. How do you think people come to the conclusion that specific car is worth $250,000? I'm just asking.
No, I think you need to look at limited quantities because those cars were produced in very limited quantities. I think people can ask whatever they want for their cars. You know, if I see a Honda VTEC going for $100,000, that Honda VTEC better be in freaking good condition for $100,000. What was your first street car that you experienced that was hellish quick?
That photo shoot with a Porsche.
Andre Jabir.
We went on our very first photo shoot, and I've never been in a Porsche. And Joel's like, hold the camera and try get footage. And Andre was just robot to robot flooring this car. I suffer from motion sickness. And it hit me so quickly. I swore I almost vomited all over your camera.
Yeah. That car ran 10s at Talton, and I think it did 300 at ODI. Eh? That exact period that you went for a ride in that car, that's something that very few will ever experience. Eh?
But I think my recent one, up-to-date one, would be Quentin's car. But when you strapped into that seat as a passenger, you know, and you threw me into the deep end with that, I wasn't prepared. You're like, go for a quick spin, and we brought no helmets, no nothing. So that was also naughty of us.
Yes, you got backlashed for that, eh?
Very bad backlash. But you know what? I cucked myself.
How badly did you cuck yourself?
No, it was terrible. You know, he went first, second, and I thought, okay, he's going to back off because that was the plan. He went all the way down Talton. My heart was beating in my ear. Up here. I couldn't even, I wasn't just like, I was just not paying attention.
And then you thought he was going to go back on the return road, right?
100%. And then he did a U-turn. And then I realized we're going back down the quarter mile again. And he didn't tap off. I was like, I'm going to go through this again. And I was just praying. And my feet were so hard against that floorboard. Like I was pushing my feet against that floorboard to stop the car. No, it's crazy.
All right, from a 10-second Porsche to an 8-second Honda.
No, fuck. Don't ever do that to me again. Yeah. Ever.
Okay, I'm sorry about that, but the power of dreams, eh?
But I also experienced Nati's car. Now, Nati's car was also...
Are you talking about the green Crest there before?
Yes.
Okay.
That thing was loud inside. Loud. And how he was managing to shift those 2 gear levers or whatever. No, that thing was loud. For the short thing that I experienced with that car, I can't imagine what you feel going down the 400. Not the hell. I wouldn't.
And was he laughing at you? He's probably laughing, Nati, eh? Because Nati's a sadistic little bastard.
Listen, I wouldn't get into a car with just anyone. These 2 guys are seasoned drivers, and we've known them for a hell of a long time. You know, you don't just jump into somebody's car for a joyride.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that's what we face doing photo shoots and videos for YouTube.
Yeah.
Is everyone wants to put us into their cars to take us for a spin just to get our reaction and to get an impression.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like anxiety 101. Yes, man.
Oh, it's not that. It's anything can happen in a day. If the car's having a good or bad day, if the driver's having a good or bad day, your life will always be in that sort of exposure of whatever day that might be. Everyone in their own books are good drivers.
Yeah, everyone.
But they're not experienced drivers.
Yeah.
So if the shit does hit the fan, what do you do?
Okay, so what are we doing this weekend?
Saturday I'm looking forward to, because we're going to Botterville's 4x4 event. I'm looking forward to the pannenkoeks, the fat cakes, the music, and the dust. I believe this is going to be one of the bigger ones for this year. And then Christmas is happening after that, guys.
Okay, the Drag National Championship's happening on the 7th at Aldo, which is this weekend.
Yeah.
Street to Strip on the 14th. They've yet to confirm the funny car and the jet car.
Okay.
They've yet to confirm
It's
that.
Tolton, yeah.
Yes, at Tolton. Bragging rights on the 14th
I see it's back.
at Kalani. Nazi commented it. He says, feels good to be back in the driving seat. Then I see that he's driving a Mark 1 Golf with a Honda turbo engine. Well done, Nazi. You've seen the light. Okay.
No comment.
No comment. Okay, new issues out. Donovan Nyker's Audi S2. I'm sure you've seen it doing the rounds on social. So you can catch up and read all about it in the new issue of Speed and Sound. And there's a lot of other stuff in here, like the Turbo Smart Bucky.
And I need to say that this is Donovan's third cover
Oh, yeah. Geez.
for Speed and Sound, I think, this year. So he is really doing some phenomenal bulls. Yeah. And if I can say, it's not another Honda and it's not another Golf. So it's always nice seeing other brands come along and hit the limelight for a while.
Did you hear that J-Lo is now single?
I like my coffee in my cup. I will throw this at you in the studio.
Yeah, she's single. So
I will throw this at you.
That means you're going to see more of her on the gram.
Move along.
Salma Hayek turned 58 this week.
I'm going to throw this fucking cup of coffee at you.